Welcome to the second edition or episode, or I don't know what you call it, of the video diary of Dinner with God. As you can see, based on the response of the previous video, I've cleaned up the background. The cute flowers are gone, and someone told me to keep the iPhone higher so that I'm not looking down on you guys, which of course I'm not. But as I proceed, my wrist may get tired, and I might, change the angle somewhat, but that's not intentional. Even though I'm going bold and I don't want you to see that. Anyway, in today's passage, I'm writing about Mary not wanting to open the letters she's been receiving and the consequences that has, of course, and John now, assisting her with that, not knowing if he should or shouldn't. Based on that, I'm using a phrase I use a lot in real life, the phrase whether or not you ask the question doesn't mean the answer is not already there. And what I mean by that is sometimes you may be afraid of stuff. For example, you have test results, or someone doesn't want to tell anyone something. And I always say, if they ask me what to do, and I always say, it doesn't matter if you tell it or not, or it doesn't matter if you ask the question or not, the answer is already there. I mean, if you're receiving test results and you don't open the envelope, it doesn't mean you've passed or failed, because that's already decided. That may sound very simple and logical, but still it helps a lot when you need to decide something in this regard. For Mary, in this case, she decided to not open her letters for a long time because she didn't want to know what was in there, causing significant problems in this case. And this again is something that did not in fact happen to my mom, but something that happened to me. A couple of years ago, I wasn't doing too well. I had people who were working for me, and I had all these plans about this big company that was going to begin, and I wanted to have a big building and big plans for little me. And I say little me because I'm not an employer. I'm not an employee either. I'm independent, but I was not able to give instructions to people. So when the economy crashed, it did in fact crash in the Netherlands as well. I lost all of my jobs in 1 week. And I remember a friend of mine saying, what's worst case scenario? Worst case scenario is that you end up losing all your money, losing everything. Do you have a place to stay? And I said yes. And he said, in that case, worst case scenario is not terrible because you won't end up on the street. And that helped me a lot. But and I got over that period of my life, and I was at a crossroad where I could either go bankrupt or work insane hours and not go bankrupt. And I chose the latter, and I didn't go bankrupt. But one thing I inherited from that period was the being afraid to open my letters, which of course is what Mary is doing, because I was afraid what was going to be in there. And that was when I learned that it's not always that easy, because the answer might already be there even though I don't ask the question. But not knowing the answer may help you not give up. For example, whenever I get a blue envelope over the weekend, and a blue envelope is in the Netherlands an IRS envelope from the tax department, and they mess up all the time, and I get charged insane amounts that I don't have to pay, but they stress me out, of course. So I don't open those letters in the weekend, and you can call that evasive behavior, but I can't fix it in the weekend. So if I can't fix it in the weekend, why learn of its contents in the weekend? So I've come to learn that sometimes when you don't ask the question, the answer may be already there, but you don't have to deal with it yet. And that might be beneficial as well, because, for example, when things went bad, I didn't want to know how much money I was behind, and I fixed it, and I worked and I worked and I worked and I just fixed it. But had I then known how much money I owed, I would have given up. I would have thought, oh, this is not possible. I will drown. This is not going to go anywhere. So by not asking the question, not hearing the answer that was already there, I didn't give up, where otherwise I might have. So well, I'm wondering what your perspective is on this. Is it in some cases smart to not ask the question because you don't want to know the answer, or should you just ask anyway and be able to face whatever the answer is and deal with it? Well, that was my thought for today. I don't know when I'm going to do these video diaries. Once in a while I get these ideas that I want to share with you, and I'm going to let them dictate when I do a video diary, and not to do one every day, because I feel, that will give me additional hits. Thank you for reading, thank you for watching this, and thank you for paying attention to the fact that I actually combed my hair. Thank you.